Hey everybody, it's Martha. Welcome to me making 100 hearts on the 100-day project for 2023. I want to thank you for joining me. I appreciate you being here very much. And I appreciate your thumbs up and your comments and you subscribing. It means a lot to me. Excuse me. So today I am going to make day 14. And yesterday I posted on Instagram, I think I posted this was day 12, but it was actually day 13. This is what I made yesterday. And it's very, very simple. I think it needs to be ironed. I think you can see those little individual stitches in there, but very simple. I need to trim this thread. There. And yesterday was a very busy day for us and for me. And so I needed to do something very quick and simple last night. This fabric I dug out of a bin yesterday because I was going to make something else, which is also why I was busy. But anyway, this fabric has a selvage on it. It's from 1994. It's old. Not as old as me, but it's old. So I thought this would be a really pretty simple fabric if I decide to use it as a patch, or someone else might want to use it as a patch if I decide to sell these or give them away. So I like it. I love blue with little pink flowers on it. So yeah. So that was day 13. Day 14 is going to be something a little different, but I also want to show you what I made yesterday. We used to buy these tissue packets in one of the stores around here that were plastic, but as the tissues are used in it, the package, shrinks a little. And I thought that would be really nice to have. We especially like them for the van because they're not big boxes that as the tissues are used, because I'm always blowing my nose because I'm always sneezing because I always have allergies. So I go through my share of tissues. So I tried to mimic the package plus use instructions that I saw for a mini tissue package, because those mini ones, they only hold what, maybe 10 tissues, and the tissues are not the best. So I made one and I failed, but I learned from my mistakes. So I made another one. Isn't that pretty? Oops. And all you have to do is take the tissues out of a box and put them in here, and see, there's a tissue. So this fabric is the fabric that I dug out for making this, and it's just got a white lining in it. And I couldn't find any tutorials for a full size one online. So I tore apart the plastic package that had the last tissue in it. And I, like I said, I found a tutorial for a mini package online that I thought was fairly simple. And my measurements were off because me and math, if you know me, if you've been following me for any length of time, math and I are not friends. So I thought that came out really well. Yeah, so I'm happy with that. So that's going to go in the van. Easy to refill. You just open it up. I opened the end of the tissue boxes because that's where the flaps overlap and they're glued. And it fit almost a whole box. And the box was way bigger. It was about that tall. About that tall. Almost as tall as this is wide. And I got almost all of the tissues in there. So I just wanted to share that with you. And that's where that pretty fabric came from. Very, I don't know, 1994, is that considered vintage nowadays? I don't even know because I'm so old. I'm vintage. I'm of the vintage category. So this idea, sometimes ideas brew in my brain for a while. And I have to keep coming up with new ideas to make this interesting. I'm moving you. If you get seasick, close your eyes. Okay, that was it. I moved you like 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to try to do this and see how it comes out. And if it does not come out well, then it's just one of those things that is like a lesson learned, right? So I have these strips of red fabric. I'm not sure why I have them. They're skinny strips. So I'm going to try to make like a flower, but it's going to be out of this fabric. And it's going to be sort of couched down. I'm trying to measure so that as big as it might get, maybe it will. Uh-oh. My first knot already. I mean, really? Only because I'm on camera. Not really. It happens to me all the time. I lie. Oh, come on. Please come out. All right, I'm putting you on hold. Hi there. I'm back. It wasn't that hard to get out after all. I just had to do it the right way. Okay. So I'm going to tack down this part here as the center. And I like that the fabric has some frayed edges to it. I'm not afraid, get it, afraid of that. I like it. And we're going to see if I can get this to work. So basically, I'm going to couch this down and just try and get them to stay. Now, you might hear noise in the background, and that would be Tony. He has decided that he wanted to do yard work. He has been just waiting for spring to spring. And spring hasn't really sprung around here yet, 100%. But the grass is growing. The daffodils are bloomed. The forsythia is bloomed. And they will soon be gone. And the temperatures are fluctuating. Not staying warm per se. Today's a very windy day. In fact, right before I started this video, the wind gusts were gusting pretty well. So I'm hoping this comes out well. Okay. And I'm using this red variegated thread. It's pretty dark, which I kind of like. It's going to add a little bit of depth and stuff to it for what you can see, which isn't a whole lot when you're doing this. And I decided not to use a background fabric. I should have ironed this, but didn't. Don't I say that every day? Yeah. So yesterday was kind of busy. We went out to see our horse Blue, which I am going to insert a little clip of. That's Tony. Weed whacker. I'm sorry for the noise. I should probably turn the video off, but I'm not starting this over again. So I apologize. So we went out to see our horse Blue, and he's doing very well. He was a tad bit muddy because, what was it? What's today? Tuesday? I think it was Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. It rained a lot. So they didn't put a blanket on him. And he was pretty darn dirty because he does lay down. Horses do lay down to rest. And his head was all full of hay, which makes me a little nervous because when his face is full of hay, it tells me he's been sticking his head in the hay pile or laying in old hay that's on the ground. And a year ago, this time of year, he stuck his head into a hay pile and he got a piece of hay stuck in his eye. And it was a almost 3-month maybe, ordeal with veterinarians and then eventually an equine eye specialist. Yeah, expensive. Medicines, had to pay the barn owner to put medicine in his eye 2-3 times a day for a while there. So it was a mess. And he's already blind in his right eye, and he had gotten the hay stuck in his left eye. And it wasn't, the hay had broken off, and it had gone really deep into his eye. So, poor guy, he's blind in one eye, could barely see out of the other. And they talked about surgery and all kinds of things, and I was like, no. We just couldn't handle it, and so we rode it out, so to speak, and we don't ride him physically. We rode out the ordeal, and I'm trying to get this to twist, but my hands don't want to cooperate. And he got better, but the veterinarian, the specialty veterinarian, could literally see using really bright light and a camera, and I don't know what else she used. Anyway, she could literally see a little chunk of hay, probably about that long, it looked like, maybe that long, like that tip of that needle, stuck way, way back in his eye. And if they did surgery, he could have been okay, or he could have been blind in that eye too. And I just couldn't do that to poor Blue. He's the best horse ever. He's like having a big puppy dog around. Tony talks to him, and Blue has like ADHD, so Tony will be brushing him or something, or working on his feet or whatever, and Blue will go, "Oh, it's spring. There's grass over there. Let me go check it out." And he starts walking away. Tony's like, "Hey, I'm doing something here. I'm not done with you yet." And Blue will turn around, look at him, go, "Oh, right, I forgot." So, okay, I think I'm going to end this one here. Scuzzles. And I'm going to cut this at an angle so I can tuck it down so it doesn't look like a sudden stop. I don't know. Do I like this? I'm not 100% sure. All right, I want the frizzies, but I don't want these long strings sticking out. I think if I put a stem on it, you'll be able to tell it's a flower. Maybe. And I'm going to catch this end in here. There we go. It's not too bad. I'm wondering if I tacked it down too much, but it's got texture. I really like it. No. Anyway, I'll do a couple more. Maybe put stems on them. So by the time we left the house and we got out to Blue, it was already almost 11 o'clock. We stayed there for, I lost the needle. Did you guys see if it rolled right off of me? I'll tell you. I do it all the time. I didn't stick it in the... All right, I'm going to have to stop you. Sorry. Now I'll return you to your regularly scheduled program. I think it had fallen on the chair cushion, but I'm wearing all gray. See? Same color as the needle. So, yeah, I couldn't see where it went. So I very carefully got up, turned around, and it was sitting on the chair cushion. So, okay, we're good. Alrighty, I'm going to try this piece because it's got a lighter background. It's not the same color all the way through. Of course, this piece isn't either. I'm going to try that piece. I'm going to put the rest of these to my side instead of on my lap. And it's a little thicker. And there's Tony with the electric mower out in the backyard. Good gravy. So I'm going to put the skin. This has a thinner end and a thicker end. So I think I'm going to put this up here. Again, I'm sorry for the noise, but I'm not starting this over. Once I start one of these, that's it. I got to keep going, right? So, okay. So where'd I leave off? So blue was muddy, and so it took... I let Tony brush him. He loves doing it, so I did a little bit. I did his face and his ears. He loves to have his ears scratched with the brush. So why do I feel like I'm not doing this one right? Like, weird. Okay, Martha, all you're doing is going in circles. All right. Put the thread back down and anchor it. All right. So yeah, little blue got his ear scratches and his face brushed and all the little tiny bits of hay off of him. And so when we're all done grooming him, we let him graze around on the grass that is next to the barn. And what he does is he wanders around and eats the grass, and there's other horses out in that area as well. I'm going the opposite way I was going before, so I'm going to try and, because I am struggling that way, obviously. There we go. That's what I was looking for. And there's other horses wandering around. He doesn't bother them. They come over and sniff him sometimes because they're not used to him being out there. They have some horses that they feed grain. Some of them get it 3 times a day. They get a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. And Blue does not need that. Blue is as you can see from the video or pictures that I put up, he is a chunky monkey, and he does not get grain. He doesn't need it. He's pretty much survives on air. So he does get fed hay out in the field, and in the summer they have several acres of pasture that they graze on, and you know, that keeps them healthy and happy. And he's 19, so he's getting up there in the years, but we never rode him much. He was a companion horse for our other horse, Bridget, who has since gone to horsey heaven. And so we enjoy going out and visiting with him and letting him graze. And then the barn owner, it was her, she has one helper. Well, she has one major helper, and then there's another helper that comes once or twice a week. But this person that helps, her employee, lives on the property and above the barn. Not the best living conditions, really, because she says it gets very cold. Her pipes freeze if it gets below freezing in winter. And in summer, it's very, very hot up there. She doesn't have an air conditioner, so anyway. Not ideal living situation, but she does it. So she's been with this woman for years and years and years. So, yeah. Anywho's, they, let me stay on camera. So it was the barn owner's day to work. They trade off days. And so Tony started talking to her. And those two they get going. Tony's like a little old lady when he gets talking. And he can talk to the women like there's no tomorrow. He's like a little old Italian woman. So I sat in the car for a little bit just to rest my knees, and I went over and said hi to Blue, and I went and did something in the barn, and then I went over and decided I would listen into whatever they were chatting about. And then I sat down because the sun was trying to come out. It was still chilly. The breeze was very cool. I had on a vest and a long sleeve shirt. Well, I had a long sleeve shirt on with a vest over it. Let's put it that way. So we just sat and talked for a bit. And then she's a very strongly opinionated woman. But she takes good care of the horses. She's been doing it all her life. Her mom owned the business, and this barn owner grew up in the business of taking care of horses. And so she inherited it from her mom. This is turning out pretty. I like this one because of the light background on the fabric. So I'm going to end that here because it's getting a little large. And again, I'm going to kind of try to angle that so it tucks up underneath here and doesn't look like a sudden ending. So we were there a little over an hour, and it takes about 40 minutes to get there, 40 minutes back. And by then, I was hungry for lunch. So we came home, and we had soup and salad for lunch, which is what we have almost every day. And then I needed to do some laundry, and I got that started, but then forgot it was in the washer until this morning. So finished that up this morning. But then I went downstairs and started doing that. I had to do a little research on the computer. And then I went downstairs and did that tissue, like soft fabric tissue box. I'm going to double tack that down just to be sure. There. That one's not so bad. It's got a little bit of depth to it with the different colors. I like them. I'm starting to like it better. Oop, Tony just ran over something with the electric mower. I think he's out in the back mulching the leaves, and I've asked him not to because the little animals and birds and stuff, they hide in there in the cold weather. And we're not done with cold weather yet, but he, the man, he gets a bee in his bonnet, and he's like, he wants to go do stuff. Yard work is about the extent of what he does in the spring, summer, and fall. In winter, it goes a little nuts when he can't do yard work. So, all right, I'm going to try this one. It's sort of got the same kind of background, but it's a different fabric on top, I think. And yes, they're all going to be red because these strips were already made, and that's what I'm going to do. So it's all good. I didn't have any blue or purple or green, and I know everything I do is flowers. I can't help it. I like flowers. I like experimenting with how to make them. So there you go. I'm sorry if they're boring. So yeah, so when I got done making that tissue box, it was like, by the time I got done doing all the stuff after we'd done lunch and cleaned up, and I did the research on the computer for something else, and then I had to look up how to make the tissue box, and I trying to think what else I did in between. I don't know. The day flew by, and we were sitting. Then we had dinner. We had dinner fairly early when the clocks changed this weekend, which I don't know if where you are, you change your clocks, but we spring ahead this weekend still. And we won't be eating as early. It'll be as early, but it won't be as early on the clock. We'll just stick with when we normally eat, and it'll be 5:30 instead of 4:30. Well, we start cooking at 4:30. By the time we eat, it's 5 o'clock. So, anywho's, but the day flew by. So we were sitting watching some TV shows after dinner, and I thought, I got to make my heart for today. I have to do it. I can't skip a day. I mean, I can, but I'm trying not to. Even the day that I went to the doctor, I felt so guilty for skipping the day, but I was mentally and physically exhausted and couldn't even focus that day. So that's why I decided to make such a simple, just stitching fabric on fabric heart. And there's nothing wrong with that. I did not feel guilty about that, doing that yesterday. So, yeah. So as soon as I woke up, I had to put my wash in the dryer because, I remembered it in the middle of the night, of course. This one's coming out even better. Look at that. Do it a few times and it gets better and better each time. Then I realized that my favorite pair of jeans have some sort of like grease stain on them, on the lower, it's right down near the ankle, on the front of the jeans. No idea where it came from. It's not like I work on cars or anything. I don't know why it's there. I washed them. I put, soap on them to try and get the stain out. Didn't come out. So I guess it's there forever, but so be it. It's not easy to see. I know it's there, but of course, I know it's there. So maybe I'll put a patch over them. I don't know. All right, I want some of the red to show. I don't want it all to be. I'm running out of thread. I don't know why I keep moving that way. I keep thinking that's where the camera is. And I'm automatically like trying to move it over so I can stay under the camera, whereas I put the camera so that center in front of me is pretty much right underneath the camera. So I apologize for that. All right, it's time to... Can I play Thread Chicken and win? Probably not. I'm going to try. I'll probably have to use another strand of thread just to... This is 2 strands that I'm using, actually. Just to finish it off. But I'm going to try here. Yep, come on. Alrighty. Ow! Stab my finger underneath. As I do almost every time I sew. Actually, probably every time I sew. Okay. I made it. I just have to knot it. Darn it. All right. Let me get this so that I can... So Tony was up early this morning. I said, are we supposed to go somewhere? Because I did not want to go anywhere. I was tired. He said no. He got up raring to go. So there he is out there making all that noise, mowing. Okay. So I have some of this. And I was thinking, since I'm going so textured, I would use some of this as the stems. Even though it's a little yellowish, it's like a greenish yellow, yellowish green. So I'm going to tack that down. This is sari silk that I hand dyed last year, year before last, probably, whenever I was doing the dyeing. So I forgot to get, I didn't think I was going to do that. I didn't know I was going to do that. So I got to get out some thread. Do I want green? Do I want a greenish yellow? That'll work. That'll work. Oh, please let him be done. If you don't know this about me, I absolutely hate noise. I hate like loud TVs and loud radios. Now, there are days when you'll find me rocking out to music for a short amount of time. However, vacuum cleaners, hair dryers. I have a hair dryer. I don't love my hair dryer. Mostly because I just, don't like the noise. There are days I'm fine. I can do it. And then there are days that I am not fine and I cannot do it. Do I want to wrap this or do I want to... I think because it's sari silk, and sari silk comes, it ravels frays really easily. Unravels and frays really easy. I think I'm going to sort of wrap it, but also stitch it down to make sure that it doesn't disintegrate. If this is a patch and it... I'm sorry, the shadows are probably... I have light coming in from the window over there, from the sliding glass door. Oh my gosh. I was hoping he was done. If this whole video is ruined because he's out there mowing and blowing, I'm gonna just not even post it. Oh my gosh. I just hate the noise. And this is the kind of community where people hire landscapers and they use leaf blowers that are like 100 times worse in decibels. And even if they're not like right next door to us, if they're across the golf course or 3 houses down, it's so loud and annoying all the time. Especially anything that has a sound that is a vibration sound. I just can't take it. It's just too much for me. Okay. I'll be plain thread chicken, but these are shorter. I might put another long one there, though, instead of a short one. I like the green better. Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm going to actually buy myself some earplugs. They're called Loop earplugs. And you can actually put them on some sort of any kind of like it's kind of like a necklace. You put it around your neck and it has two, kind of like for eyeglasses. They have 2 little loops on the ends or clips. And you can take the earplugs in and out. I think I'm going to get those because there are times, even when I'm putting, like, we have all stainless steel pots and pans. We don't use non-stick anymore. And health reasons. And so in order to do that, you know, they're very noisy. When you're washing them, we have a stainless steel sink. When you're drying them, when you're trying to put them away with all the other pans, and you have to lift pans up and put this pan underneath and, you know, stack them and all that. It's just like, it just gets to me. And Tony has noise going in the house all the time. There's always radio or TV or vacuuming, or I don't vacuum, he vacuums. Or whatever it is, there's always background noise. And I never realized how much until he started working from home, before working from home was a thing. He was able to work remotely. Oh gosh, let's see. We've been here almost 7 years, and he worked remotely here. And then he worked remotely at the farm for at least 4 years? 5 years, maybe? 6 years? A long time before that. It was probably more than that, because when we moved to the farm, he was working remotely too. And then he wasn't, and then he was again. So there's that. But anyway, when he started working, near the end of working, he liked his job a little less and less. And he... Sorry for the extra noise. And that's when I realized how much the man likes noise. There's always something noisy going on. And it's just so insane. I will use these shorter pieces for other things. So they will go back in the box. I actually like this side better. Got that. See how easily it comes apart? And that's why I wanted to make sure I tack it down pretty well. Okay. So I thought I could eliminate most of the noise that he makes by moving all of my sewing stuff into the bedroom and closing the door. Unfortunately, the wall to the bedroom, had to move the scissors. They were in a precarious position. The wall, one wall of the bedroom faces outside. The opposite wall from that faces the kitchen. It's the other side of the kitchen wall. And on the other side of that wall is the stove. So if he's cooking, the exhaust fan, he turns the exhaust fan on, and it makes this very large vibration sound in the bedroom because it's right on the bedroom wall. It's like, I wish sometimes he would find a part-time job outside of the house and just go. Because when he goes for his walk, it takes him maybe 10 minutes, 15 at the most. And I don't walk with him because, number one, when he's gone, I have peace and quiet. If he goes to the dump and the post box, the mailbox, because our mailboxes are all, they're community mailboxes, you know. So they're in parking lots, and you have a key and you open your own little box. So when he goes, I get 5, 10, 15 minutes of peace and quiet. And some days I need that a lot more than others. And it's not like on days when I'm extremely tired, it's worse. Well, it is. It's way worse on days that I'm extremely tired. However, there are some days that is just downright annoying because it doesn't stop. So, yeah. Uh-oh. Now, see, now you can tell they're flowers, right? Sure, Martha. Sure. It's all good. Oh, now he's coming in. Hopefully he sees the door shut. He knows that I'm recording. So, yeah. Sometimes, you know, I know that I'm very lucky to be in the situation I'm in. And sometimes it's like, can I just be alone for 5 minutes? I'm awful. I really am. I know, I'm awful. I know. Trying to figure out. Yes, leaves. If I can keep it from shredding. This is going to be a long one. So I hope you're working on stuff. Hoping the noise didn't really destroy this video. And I will have to edit out the bad word I said by accident. I really did. I just sometimes I can't control myself. I do have a bad mouth. So we are still supposed to get some very cold weather overnights, even though it's supposed to be in the 50s most days during the day. So this looks more like a cactus than a leaf. A plant. Well, maybe they're Christmas cactuses. Right? Don't Christmas cactus have little red flowers that pop out on top of them? Oh my goodness gracious me, I'm losing it. Oh, now he's doing something in the car. I hear the garage door opening. Okay. Thread chicken? I really don't need to do this. I have another whole strand of thread I could use. Yeah, don't make it hard on yourself, Martha. Just use the other strands. Oh, dear me. I treat everything as very, very precious because I did without for a lot of years. So I've always been very, very frugal and with money. And I learned to be very frugal with other things as well. You know, very careful. Food and clothing. I buy very inexpensive clothing. I've only splurged on clothing maybe 2-3 times in my life. Otherwise, it's very inexpensive. And I just wear like stretchy t-shirts. And since leggings came into the craze, I wear leggings inside, in the house. I wear different clothes in the house than I normally wear outside. I don't wear my leggings in public very often. Like if I have a doctor's appointment and I know I need to be really comfortable. Oh, how did I do that? That's bizarre. Okay. I just came back up through the same hole I went down. I don't know how I did that. But anyway. So that's probably the only time I might wear leggings is like going into a doctor's appointment or something and I know I need to be comfortable. Some sort of situation like that. Oh, and camping. I'll wear leggings when we're camping. Because nobody knows me. I don't care. I'll never see those people again. But I know I'm old and I know I'm heavy. And I know people think you shouldn't be wearing leggings if you're old and heavy. But I deserve comfort too, you know. And so I do wear them in the house all the time. As soon as we come home from anywhere, the jeans come off, the leggings go on. And because I'm a slob, apparently, I usually try and wear shirts in the house that already have stains and stuff on them because, like, for example, we eat salads every day for lunch. I inevitably get the oil from the salad. Not that my salad's, drowning in oil, but somehow I will drop something, it'll land on my chest, and then I have an oil spot on my shirt. And oil spots are notoriously difficult to get off. So, yeah. It's like, okay, if you're going to be that way. And I've been that way for years and years and years too. Ever since we've had horses, which is a very long time. I was in my 40s when we got our first horse. And I'm 67 in May. So, long time. 20 years-ish. Probably a little more than that. All I have to do is look at a horse and I end up dirty. I cannot even get near the horse. Like Tony will be brushing the horse. Doesn't matter where I stand. The only place I'm safe is inside a closed building or a closed car. Because I will get dirt and hair and everything all over me. I will. It's just a given. All I have to do is look at a horse and I get dirty. Seriously. It's insane. So I always had my horse clothes and my home clothes and my work clothes. Because if you know anything about horses, as soon as you've been near a horse, you're going to be a little smelly. Even though they're not filthy animals, they smell like dirt. Because, they live outside. So I come home, I smell like a horse. Clothes go in the wash. Yesterday I had to wash my jacket, my vest, and my shirt and my jeans. Because the wind was blowing. It's shedding season, which if you don't know what that is, as soon as the light starts getting longer, it's not the warm weather, it's the light, amount of daylight there is. As soon as the light increases, the days increase in length. Oh, come on. As soon as that starts happening, they start shedding their coats. There's horsehair flying everywhere. There's dust flying everywhere. There's dirt flying everywhere. And it always flies right at me. Right at me. So yeah, there's that. And I love spring, but as soon as spring springs, I start having allergies and headaches and I've been tested. I was tested and told, you're not allergic to anything. And then another allergy doctor told me those tests don't work. He wanted to go down my nose and down my throat with a scope. No, thank you. I don't need that. He says, well, those allergy tests don't work. Well, they work for other people. I need one more leaf coming up this way. So where are those little pieces I threw into the box? Concentrating, sorry. Quietness. Tony's not in the house. I'm all alone. Peace. Peace out. It's a little long. Okay. Is this sloppy? Yes. Am I okay with that? Yes. You know why I'm okay with it? Because it's still cute. I know I'm going to run out of this thread, so I'm just going to tack this down. And then I'll get some more thread. Because I have more thread. And I can go get more thread if I run out of this color, right? I have a funny story to tell you. I think I might have mentioned it before. But I watch Susan on Susie Q Makes. I love her. Did I just snip that? I hope I didn't just snip that. And it's going to come undone at some point. Probably will. Anyway, she kept saying she used this specific color of, it was very much like this color here, for leaves of thread. And I kept looking at the DMC floss in the store and could not find that number. Then in one of her videos, she said, it's anchor thread, not DMC. Duh. So I found it, and it's very close to this DMC. So I'm like, yeah, I don't need two of those. We're so easily influenced by each other, aren't we? So I do hope you're playing along and you're enjoying this. I may have to edit some parts of this out because since I had to stop the recording twice, I know this is going to be very long because it's already, this section is 43 minutes, and I know I did several minutes. I don't know, could have been 5, could have been 10 on the other 2 sections, and I don't want you to be totally bored. But if you are, you can speed me up to the highest speed it goes and just hear me go, or turn your sound off, or you know, whatever. It's fine with me. Like I said, I'll never be one of those 100,000 followers YouTube channels. You know, I really like that now that it's done. This might be one of those that I put a back on it and it becomes a gift for somebody. Or, you know, the other thing you can use these for, did I tell you this maybe already? I don't know. I can't remember from one video to the next. But you could also put these get blank greeting cards. You know, you can go to the stores and buy blank cards. Stitch this or glue it down to a card. And that'd be a really pretty card that hopefully whoever the recipient is, they keep it. They could cut the card out and put it in a little frame. So there it is. I'm happy with that. I actually really like it. I wasn't as thrilled when I started. It went through an ugly stage. And then I liked that one better. And I liked that one better. And then I put the stems and the leaves on it. So there it is. So that's day, oh, excuse me, hiccup. Day 14. Yes, I have to look. Can't remember from the beginning of the video to the end. 14. There we go. So, thanks for joining me. As always, I appreciate it. I hope I stayed on camera. I hope the shadows aren't too bad. I love you all very much. And I hope you're stitching along, and leave comments because I love answering you guys and hearing what you're doing and what's going on in your life. Take care, everybody. Thanks. I'll be back when I can. Might be tomorrow, might be day after, might be a few days from now. I don't know. All depends on life, right? Gotta live life. Love you. Bye.